On the very first day of class, the new teacher told his students to tear up their textbooks. The students stared at him in disbelief, but he insisted they go ahead and do it. Soon, one brave student took action, and before long, more and more followed suit. His reason for this dramatic gesture? He simply didn't believe in what the textbook had to say. What happened next left every student in that classroom absolutely speechless. He told them not to call him teacher or mister. Instead, they should address him as captain. Then he gathered them close and spoke from the heart. While you're chasing grades and achievements, don't forget to think for yourselves. Sure, becoming doctors, lawyers, or business people might be your goals, but remember, poetry, art, and love are what give life its meaning. The students were blown away. This was, after all, one of America's most prestigious prep schools, where every teacher was laser-focused on grooming the next generation of Ivy League students. Yet here was this teacher, completely flipping the script. He put grades on the back burner and instead encouraged his students to break free from convention and see the world through fresh eyes. When teaching Shakespeare, he didn't just lecture, he brought the plays to life through performance, getting each student to stand on their desk to literally see things from a new perspective. When it came time for Whitman's poetry, he took the whole class out to the soccer field, where they kicked the ball around while shouting lines from Leaves of Grass at the top of their lungs. That's how you capture the raw energy and power of poetry, he said. This unconventional teaching style completely shattered the students' preconceptions. Curious about their mysterious teacher's background, they dug through the library archives and discovered he'd been a student at this very school. Not only had he been captain of the soccer team, but he'd also founded something called the Dead Poets Society. When the students asked him about it, he got serious. The school doesn't exactly approve of that organization. He warned them. He explained that back in his day, the academic pressure was crushing. The strict rules and regulations left students gasping for air. So he gathered a group of like-minded romantics who understood each other, and they'd meet secretly in a cave to take turns reading poetry, pouring out their emotions through words, and feeling truly alive. One student was particularly captivated by this idea. That very night, a group of them snuck out to the cave, sat in a circle, and brought the Dead Poets Society back to life. At first, they treated it like a game, but as they began reading poetry aloud, something stirred deep inside them. For the first time, they felt the true power of words. One day in class, the teacher asked students to come up and read their own poems. This terrified Anderson, a painfully shy kid who wanted nothing more than to disappear into his seat. Of course, that's exactly when the teacher called on him, desperate to avoid the spotlight. Anderson claimed he hadn't written anything. Can't write poetry? No problem, the teacher said. Just show me your barbaric yop, like Whitman would. Before Anderson could protest, he was pushed to the front of the room. Anderson was a nervous wreck, stammering and barely whispering. The teacher kept encouraging him to speak up. Then he had Anderson look at a picture of Whitman, close his eyes, and imagine the poet's face. Now tell us what you see, but shout it out. Covering Anderson's eyes with his hands, the teacher kept pushing him. As Anderson described what he saw, something shifted. He found his rhythm, his voice. When the teacher finally let go, Anderson transformed. Suddenly he was a real poet. His voice booming with passion, his beautiful verses poured out of him. The teacher beamed with pride. The other students sat frozen in amazement. They couldn't believe this was the same Anderson. When he finished, the room erupted in applause. Remember this feeling, the teacher told him. For the first time in his life, Anderson had conquered his fears, and this teacher's revolutionary education had only just begun.